your life. Time check is 53 minutes gone past 10. It's 6 minutes to 11. And if you've been with us still since we started, thank you. And if you're just joining us right now, well, you're welcome. We have about an hour to go. A quick recap or rehash of what we've been talking about. Well, I asked the question, what's in your hands? I used, of course, the Walt Disney animated movie of Mulan to tell you how she couldn't quite fit in, didn't know who she was or what she was supposed to be. But she had courage. She was impulsive, she was smart, she was witty, and she was brave. And these attributes that she possessed would ultimately help her in almost single-handedly defeating the Han army that were invading China. Now, I told you the story of a friend that I chose to call Amaka, who, went wherever the wind carried her, tossed her. She was like I think it's a rudderless ship, or a ship without a wheel. But somehow she's been able to find herself. Well, find a business or grow a business by what she possessed, what she innately had. She knew how to cook. A very good cook. Now, I don't know how she got the epiphany. Or maybe somebody told her, get your life together, straighten up, come on. And she looked, Nigeria doesn't have much jobs to offer. So she decided to use what she had. And in this case, not her womanhood, not what was in between her legs, but what she had in her brain, possibly in her heart, and in her hands. Now she sends food all over Nigeria. I can't believe her food is that amazing. Crabs, lobsters, prawns, grilled prawns, afang soup, oha, native, with different types of fish. Oh my goodness. Or maybe it was the appointed time for her to blossom. I did tell you what Fazu, Mulan's father, did say while they sat under the blossoms. Flowers were falling, pink, beautiful flowers. And yet there was one that hadn't quite bloomed. And so while Mulan was busy feeling sorry for herself because she had performed abysmally before the matchmaker, he said, what beautiful blossoms we have this year. But look, that one is yet to blossom. But I'll bet that when it does, it will be the most beautiful of all. And indeed, truer words hadn't been said, because when it was time for Mulan to blossom, oh, she blossomed and then some. Same way this my friend Amaka now has blossomed. From being the girl they will call and say, we're doing party, come and cook for us now, because she had a love for cooking. So while maybe some people may have thought that we're using her for her nuisance value, and I use that word kind of loosely as in, she's cheap labor, she was doing what she loved to do best, which is cook. And now look at her. She has incorporated a company, and she's well on her way to become a brand, I pray and I hope. So yes, I asked you, what is in your hands? Of course, I have the question running on my social media page. On Facebook, that's the Dawn on Sundays like page. Some people have complained they can't find it. I don't know why. But Dawn is spelled D-A-W-N. Then, of course, on Sundays like page. Just space it. Dawn on Sundays. Inverted with quotation marks. Like page. And you see it there. There's also an ordinary Dawn on Sundays page where the question is running. I'd like you to answer that question. What is in your hands? You can answer it right now, and I could read your comments if I see them. Or you can answer it later, after I upload the video of this show for those who may not have access to radio right now. What is in your hands? I told you I'll tell you the stories of a couple of people. Let me start off with the lady who is going to do the post-production work on this video I'm making as I'm speaking. She trained as, she read agriculture. I don't know the word for it, but she studied agriculture in school, which is not a bad thing. seeing that food is in short supply at the moment in Nigeria with all the killings and whatnot going around. So, yeah, she should be an asset to that sector. But it's not easy finding a job or even acquiring land, I guess. So for a long time, this young lady would sit at home doing nothing. She would put out feelers, send out her resume to, different companies that are agriculturally based, or even the financial ones, because, in Nigeria these days, what you studied in school many times isn't what you end up doing. Case in point, me. I studied law. Here I am. Anyway, she had a love for electronics. Right from her childhood days, when her father would call the electrician to come and fix light bulbs or fix something that needed fixing, or even the TV guy comes to do little repairs or installations of stuff, she'll be right there. Not because she was close marking the man or the guy or the guys, but because she was learning with her eyes. And she loved asking questions. Parents, if you have an inquisitive child, a curious child, or an over-inquisitive child, an over-curious child, try your best not to destroy that trait. It's a gift. When they ask you why, answer. If you can't answer it, or if you don't have the answer to the question, Google it. Because you're sharpening their minds, you're opening their brains to learn and to keep learning. So being curious or inquisitive isn't a bad thing. In this case, curiosity wouldn't, and will never kill the cat. And so she was always tagging along. Then we didn't really have much pedophiles, so it was safe. Uncle, why are you doing this? Uncle, why are you doing that? Uncle, what is this? Why is this green, red, and yellow? Why is this brown? What does earth mean? She asked a ton of questions. Her favorite book, she will tell me later on in life, are the manuals of different things, even down to the manuals for remote control. Gifts, unnoticed possibly. Now, whenever there's an issue at home, the generator is not starting. I'm telling you her story. The generator is not starting. They'll call her, say, Nne, please come. Oh. The gen doesn't want to start. So what do we do? And she'll go there, she'll look at it. Okay, let's wash the spark plug first. She'll bring out fuel, wash the spark plug with it. A special toothbrush she kept outside, put it back in. I've watched her work. I have watched her work. I am a DIY kind of lady myself, but she takes the cake on do it yourself. 1, 2, 3, boom, the generator is working. Or, there's no oil, let's check. Turn it open, stick in the dipstick. Oh, okay, it's short. She knows what to do. All by watching people and asking questions. Now, how did she get into post-production for videos and music and whatnot? Computer savvy chick. Well, one day she made a video and was trying to upload it. But it was too heavy and it was eating so much data. And she didn't know what to do. Now, she had this computer that she had begged somebody to dash her. Money no day, now money no day, what can you do? And so this person had repaired the computer and sent it to her. Now, she was grateful for the computer, she told me. But it wasn't what she really, it wasn't her spec. Even though she had begged the person for a laptop. But it wasn't her spec. Now, when this video she was trying to upload was giving her problems, she was trying to turn it into join different clips together, and it just wasn't working. The apps she had on her phone wasn't working. So she decided to put it inside her laptop and see if maybe by some stroke of luck something would happen. So she put it in. Now, it has something called, what's the name of that thing, she said? Media Smart, it's a HP thing, something that came with her HP laptop. HP, you guys own me. Anyway, it had a media thingy, majig in it. And so she put it in and was looking around, and then she saw movie. So she decided, okay, maybe this one might turn it into a movie, who knows? Clicked on it, and voila, it turned into a movie, an actual movie. The clips, 8 of them joined into a full-length video. And she was amazed. Oh, wow, I did it. Then she asked herself, what else can I do? And she started tinkering with the computer to the point where she now can make music clips herself. She's amazing to watch. So now here I come along. I have this issue. I want to start putting videos on the show, but I can't quite figure out what to do. And she's like, I'll do it for you for free. It was in watching her work that I had to ask her, how did you learn all this? And now she's using that thing to eat. What is in your hand? This is a gift, an innate gift given to her. And she's now using it to feed, whilst doing her other hustle and waiting for her banga to ripe. But her story is not the amazing story I said I had for you. Let me tell you the amazing story after I tell you this one. A number of times, I've talked about a young man who lost his job, had nothing to fall back on, but knew how to cut hair. Yeah, he was quite the skilled barber. He too would learn by watching someone. Creative fellow, he's good with his hands. He too can take apart things and piece them together. Gift. So he decided, okay, let him start cutting people's hair. Now for those who weren't sure about him, they didn't give him the time of day when he knocked on their door saying, I can, supply you home service. So he said, okay, all you need to do is sit outside. I'll cut your hair for you outside. How did he manage his feet? Well, he made what I would call a mobile socket. You know that thing where they have a board, then you put like 4 sockets on it. Then he now had this very long wire, extension wire, very, very long. Now all you do is you run the wire into your home, you plug it wherever you want, you sit outside, he plugs in his clippers, and he goes to work. Now let me tell you another thing about this young man who's quite good with his hands. He's currently interning or apprenticing at a top-notch mechanic garage where they repair amazing cars. If you don't get money, you don't need. Of course, he's an unpaid intern, but the things he's learning. Now, this is a young man who started barely a year ago at this mechanic garage. But right now, the level of trust that the owner has in him, the level of trust is astounding. Oh, bros, come and do this. Oh, bros, come and do that. The crankshaft needs lifting. This, that, and all that. And, many words he uses. Well, I'm good with words, but when it comes to technicalities, sorry. So I don't even know what crankshaft means, but there's a crankshaft in the car. And I think there's axle, and there's, let's see now. What else is in the car? Okay, there's the engine. But this young man is quite good at taking it to pieces and putting it back. He's learning. That's what's in his hand. After losing his job, after having the tools to his trade stolen, and he didn't know what to fall back on, so he fell back on cutting hair. But that wasn't enough. He now is learning how to be a good mechanic. That's what's in his hands. He's also good with electrical stuff. When I look at him, I see the brute force in him. He's the type of person that you say, okay, manage this storeroom for me. Please bring this for me. He will go, he will get it. He has that strength, he has that power. That's how God created him. And he's using that strength, the power, and the creativity to better his life. He's coming. So I'm asking you, what's in your hands? Now let me tell you the story of a girl I lived with. The first day I met her, I had gone to visit my cousin in school in Ekpoma. It was a street called Ejudame. And when I entered this house, the camaraderie, it was only chicks. It's like a duplex that was converted. Rooms, and girls were, in it. And I loved the camaraderie. They would cook together and everybody would sit down, and everybody would be eating, no rushing. It was big enough to fill everybody. Sometimes one person will be downstairs and say, I have this, so, and they'll troop to that person's room. It was fun. And I was begging God, I would like to live here. I haven't had much luck with chicks as friends, but I loved what I saw, and I wanted to be part of it. So one night, we were in Laura's room. I had come from hostel, then I was staying in the hostel before I moved out. I'd come from hostel to spend the weekend with them. And they're like, have you met Omaomi? I was like, no, who's Omaomi? Oh, she's one chick down the road. So Alaba runs off to go and get her. She said, don't worry, you're going to have a great time tonight. I'm like, what's with this Omaomi? Who's this person? So Omaomi comes in. She's wearing one native shirt and skirt kind of thing. And they're like, oh, Omaomi, oh, thrill us. They put in a Makosa tape. And Omaomi's dancing. And I was in awe of this young lady. I was mesmerized. I was watching her. She was dancing and all that. NEPA took lights, we put on candles, and then we began to sing. Everybody started singing. And then when it was Omaomi's turn to sing, everyone fell silent. I didn't know why until she opened her mouth. I was like, Jesus. I wish I could sing like her. Thank goodness I wasn't envious. But oh, would I love to have that gift. Of course, you all know the story of this person I'm talking about. Eventually, I'll move into that flat, that duplex. In fact, I took Laura's room after she left. And when I'm coming back from school, you can hear her voice from the gate, singing different songs. Some of the songs I played today, she taught me. Because she would play them and she would sing along and all that. It was amazing. The girl loved to sing. Of course, I graduated about a year or two before her. I still remember when I walked in, having written my final paper, and she pummeled me with sachet water. I mean, she burst it all over me. It was an amazing night. We all spent the night at my balcony singing, what's this guy's song? Wyclef Jean. She's homegrown, you can grow her in your backyard. At the time, I didn't know what that song was about. God forgive me. But it was a night of female empowerment. It was a night of enjoying our youth. It was a night of being with each other one last time. And there was Omaomi regaling us with her voice. Then one day I would hear of West African Idol. And see Omaomi, she had this weird way of walking. There's something I used to call her, but I would say it on air. See her coming with that way. I was like, oh, okay, this should be good. The rest is history. Second runner-up. Yet, she held the hearts, the minds and hearts of Nigerians whenever she came out to perform. Still does, I think. That's what was in her hands. What is in your hands? Now, okay, let me put you out of your misery. Let me tell you the story that I heard over the weekend. I was like, oh, I must use this story. Oh my goodness. Let's call, okay, I think I said I'll call her what, Adeline, right? Yes. Her name isn't Adeline. Protect her privacy and whatnot. Let's call her Adeline. So Adeline is the senior sister to about 2 or 3 other girls, and then some. But let's focus on the girls. They got married, but Adeline didn't, or hadn't at the time. Now Adeline had to go and take care of the third girl that she was older than. So that's Adeline. Then you have 1, 2, 3. That third girl. She started living with her, taking care of her home with her husband. That is the third girl's husband. Sweeping, cleaning, basically just, being there. Serving her sister, some might say. Doing boy, some might say. Being selfless, some might say. Being utterly amazing, because how many sisters, in fact, how many loved ones, how many family members can drop everything and just come and stay and take care of their junior ones wholeheartedly, without any ill will, malice, or rancor, or prejudice? It's very difficult to find someone who will be willing to bring out their mind for you. Because most will look and say, my life hasn't started, and here I am serving my junior. I'd like to believe that her junior sister was most grateful that she had someone she could count on. But anyway, that's speculation on my part. So yes, here's Adeline doing this. Now, a friend of the husband would come in. He was looking for, the husband traveled abroad, and so he came back with a friend who wanted to get married to a Nigerian, but hadn't had much luck. So he was staying in his house. Adeline was there, and they were looking for a young girl for him to marry. His specification was, I want somebody caring and loving. That's who I would like to marry. I guess maybe looks didn't really matter, but from what I heard, caring and loving first on the list. And when this man told his wife, look, this person is looking for a wife. I don't know if you know anybody, caring, loving, that's what he wants. And so she looked at her husband and said, what about Adeline? And the husband said, no, don't do that. Kai, that's disrespectful. How can we do that? No. And the wife said, just wait and see. You never can tell. So 2 of them now put heads together and they were like, how will we do this? And the wife said, they are both adults. Just leave it to play out the way it will. Now she goes to meet her sister Adeline and says, this fellow, sometimes you should ask him if he would like to eat or have his clothes washed. Something, just, take care of him as well. He's part of the family. Ordinarily, some would say, I've not finished cleaning after you and your husband and the kids you have. I will now start taking care of a guest too. It would rankle, I'm sure. But the amazing thing about Adeline, she was like, okay, no problem. I wish I possessed that kind of humility or selflessness. I don't know. But that's a gift she was given. So she went to the young man. Sir, if you have any clothes you need washing, I can help you. She started also taking care of the fellow, who was a bit of a recluse, was a homebody. So one day she went to meet him and was like, you're always staying inside, it's not good. Let me show you around Port Harcourt since you don't know Port Harcourt very well. And he was like, okay, no problem, thank you. No agenda, no, hidden intentions. She just brought out her mind and took him around, showing him the different beautiful sights that Port Harcourt had to offer, of which I'm sure Bole must have been one of them. I mean, if you're in Port Harcourt, you're not eating Bole, you're on a long thing. Anyway. Next thing, this young man, after some months, now goes to meet his friend and says, don't be offended, dude. I think I found the person I'd like to marry. And I was like, okay, who? That's nice. I've not been seeing anybody here. He said, well, I want to marry Adeline. And man was shocked. I said, Adeline say yes. Why? Say because she's very caring. Boom. Currently, Adeline is running a master's degree program somewhere in Nigeria, I won't say where. Has 2 kids. Uh, trips between Switzerland and Port Harcourt and any other part of the country she likes. She's married to the man, and when you see their photos and everything, they look like they love each other. They look like they are really happy. Even Adeline herself looks content. Sometimes you can look at people and tell, this person doesn't enjoy you. No, he's not happy. But she looks like her story. All because of what she had in her hands. And what was that? She was caring. She was loving. She was selfless. It was a gift not most of us possess. So again, I ask you, what is in your hands? You see, the purpose of today's talk, some of you might be looking down on yourselves right now, thinking you are worthless, thinking that that thing you're doing, or that thing that you are, or that thing that you have, will not yield fruit, will not bring about nothing. In fact, you look at other people and you envy what those people possess or what they exhibit. You wish you were like them. You want to be like them. And you don't know that sometimes great things take time to manifest. You need to build yourself. You need to grow yourself. You don't know that you possess something that will catapult you tomorrow into your destiny, into whom you should be. So what is in your hands? You remember the 11-year-old boy that made the rounds or made the news when he painted or drew an almost lifelike portrait of Emmanuel Macron in 2 hours at the Fela Shrine, Kalakuta Shrine. I don't know how many of you had come across this boy before this time. He had made the news as, I think he started doing this at age 9. And somehow, I guess someone discovered him. He went viral. The little boy who can draw. I mean, there's drawing and then there's drawing. This boy can draw. I wish I knew the circumstances under which he had been brought to, the Fela Shrine to meet Emmanuel Macron and the drawing. I don't know how it happened. Maybe he was just used as one of the cultural beauties that Nigeria has to offer. I don't know, but what was in his hands has put him on the limelight. So what's in your hand that you're looking down on? What's that gift you possess? Or you don't even know you possess, but you're drawn to certain things. Exploit it. Yes, it's yours. Exploit it. Let me tell you mine before I play something for you. A lot of you know I trained as a lawyer. Some don't believe I have a degree. Some don't even believe I was called to the Nigerian bar. Yeah, but I was, and I am, and I have been. Now, I got a job at a really fancy schmancy, what's that thing called, law firm. After working in a couple of places where I didn't learn much. I was, well, still rusty, a bit green behind the ears. I knew a couple of things, but I didn't know enough. Coupled with the fact that I was going through a hellish breakup. I mean, a hellish breakup. But I knew I had to put one foot in front of the other. So I went and applied at this place and they called me. And to the best of my ability, I believe I told the truth about who I was. And how many years I had been, what's that thing called? Post-call. I was given 3 months probation. And I believed I was working as good as I could, trying to grasp everything. But I was under a lot of pressure, which wasn't helped by the fact that some people in the law firm were a bit too much for me. There was bullying, and there was a bit of shouting and name calling. Strange things happened. Either way, anyway, I ended up losing that job. And it left a bitter taste in my mouth as to what young lawyers go through when they're trying to kind of cut their teeth on something in the legal profession. Now, try as I could, Nigeria is tough, Nigeria is hard. Try as I could, I just couldn't find another legal job to do. I tried, believe me, I did. Life would see me heading to Abuja to see if, okay, let's try the law firms there. Same dead end. I would end up being duped by a very close friend of mine. We got a job to do. She decided she was going to pilfer 100 grand and not tell me. That, of course, cast me in the black book of my clients, and I was blacklisted. So I came back to Port Harcourt under the guidance of a good friend who sometimes I want to stab in the eye. He knows himself. He calls me his sister. We quarrel a lot. But he's one of the people I'll remember on my way to the top by the grace of God. So yeah, he got me back to Port Harcourt. Come back home, start again. So I came back home. But of course, life no easy. Life no easy. But still, you have to put one foot in front of the other. Keep going. Still couldn't get legal jobs. I was sending out CVs. I was pounding the pavement. You know, they work. But I could write. Oh, I could write. And I could tell a story. And I loved to talk. And I loved talking to people. And I found that when people needed advice of sorts, they sometimes would ask my opinion. Let me confess something to you. Many times I used to look at myself like I was stupid. Like, you know, who would even want to listen to me? Yes, there were times I looked down on myself like I was stupid. Didn't have anything to offer. Now, one day a friend of mine would say, "Oh girl, how far are you now? What are you doing at home?" I said, "My brother, I just do this, that. Go to this place and see now. You might just end up with the way you like to talk and argue and this and that. They might just take you." Okay. So I entered the place, which is here. And I was given a chance, which is what a lot of us need. Just one chance. One is short. I didn't quite do such a good job on that shot. I was told I didn't have much to say. But somehow I caught the bug. I enjoyed the session I had with the presenter. So I came back. And I was told, okay, write us a story. And so I started writing a fluff piece about a socialite PR chick called Monique. All from my brain, just from my brain. Many of the things I wrote, I had never even experienced them, but all from my brain. And before you know it, I went on to do other things, and other things, and other things, and here I am. Talking to you, learning from you, telling you my story, and hearing your stories as well. That's what I had in my hand. That's what God gave me. And I know this is not the end, but this is merely, the beginning of something God has planned for me. Same way I'm telling you, that thing in your hand, whatever it is, exploit it, use it, don't hide it. There's this phrase I came across a couple of days ago. If a tree in a forest falls down and nobody's around to hear it, did it make a sound? If a tree in a forest falls down and no one is around to hear it, Did it make a sound? Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe because nobody was there, it then didn't make a sound. I don't know. But all I could glean from that phrase, that statement is this. Whatever you are, whoever you are, whatever is in your hands, showcase it. You don't know what it's going to do for you, where it's going to take you. So maybe you have a love for, let's see now, illnesses. You like to learn about illnesses. They fascinate you. Who knows? You might just become the next director for the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, because they work with diseases. They save lives. Maybe you enjoy knowing what makes a human being tick. So you find yourself reading medical journals or watching medical shows. Then maybe you're supposed to be a medical doctor. Who knows? Because you might just find the cure for AIDS. Or maybe you enjoy long drives. Maybe you're about to own a fleet of taxis and become the next transport line out there, or the next Uber. Maybe like Omami, you love to sing. Every time you're always humming a tune, there's always something running in your head, music-wise. You drain it. Musicians are making money these days, but I'll advise you one thing. Please, ease up on the songs that have no message, on the drivel. Give us something with substance, something with meat. Put your name alongside the Michael Jacksons of this world. Put your name alongside the Kirk Franklins and the Tamila Mans of this world, and not drivel, really. Raskimono died a couple of months ago, I think, or fairly recently. And we did a tribute here where we played most of his songs. They had something to say. For those who like reggae, his songs would be evergreen in a way. Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, come on, tell us something. So what do you have in your hands? What's that thing that you're trying to grow and you're wondering, will this thing work? It's taking you so long. Les Brown has this saying about the Chinese bamboo tree, but I cannot say it as good as he can. So, you know what? What is in your hands? Remember, I did say that the question is also running on the Facebook page, Dawn on Sundays like page. Dawn on Sundays like page and Dawn on Sundays. Yeah. I don't know why I messed around and went and created two things. But anyway, I'm keeping both of them running. So you can call in on 080-928-95620. Today we have only one phone line seems to be working. The other one is being, well, we're working on it. And if it starts working before we get off, oh well, we'll add that to the mix. So you can call on 080-928-95620. That's 080-928-95620. You can also send text messages on 090-8668-1703. That's 090-8668-1703. Now I did say I was going to tell you something about, okay, we have a call. Hello? Hello? Oh, please, don't. Hello? I don't know what to tell you now. Okay, let's see, we have another call. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Please, my name is Rufus. I'm calling from OGRA. Please, I didn't get a question. Please, can you come up again with a question, please?
What is in your hands? That's the question.
What is in my hand?
Yes, what is in your hand?
Okay, let me call that.
All right. Yeah, well, like I said, we sometimes do it philosophically here. Now, when I say what is in your hands, what do you have? What do you possess? What's inside of you? What's innately given to you? What's your gift that you might be looking down on? What's that thing that you're supposed to be exploiting? What's that thing that you're supposed to use? What's that thing that's supposed to catapult you? What is in your hands? So yes, I was telling you about Les Brown, right? Now, in pursuance of his dream, Les loves talking to people. There's one where maybe I might play that one for you as well. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Isaac calling from right now in Rotterdam on Transit.
Oh, lovely. Isaac, tell me something.
Okay, you're asking about what's on my hands,
Yes.
right?
Yes, exactly.
I see, most times I sleep, I see myself building bridges.
Okay.
So,
Are you an engineer?
come again?
Are you an engineer?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're well on your way to building that bridge or bridges.
Okay. But the bridge I actually want to see myself on is building bridges for the Lord.
Okay. Is anything stopping you?
Maybe life itself.
What do you mean by life?
What I mean by life itself, how do I put it? The country we find ourselves not really encouraging. So that is it.
Yeah, but I think you've been placed in a very fertile ground to, build a bridge for the Lord. Although I don't really know if the bridge means talking to people or leading people to Christ. Right now we have an absolute, okay, I won't say absolute, but we have a near absolute deficit of real pastors or real church leaders. And if you believe you are as authentic as you want to be, you're in the right place, don't you think?
Sure.
So you're going to build that bridge now?
Definitely.
Beautiful. I like that. I like that. Do you have anything else to add, Isaac?
So how many?
Do you have anything else to add?
Just for my fellow young ones, their lifestyle is not really encouraging at all.
Okay.
I doubt if anyone has told them about tomorrow. None of them is thinking about their future. And I honestly wish to advise them and also encourage them. Nobody should lay down his life for nothing. If you must lay down your life for anything, lay down your life for heaven's sake. Not for any man, any mortal man. That's all I have to tell them.
Okay, thank you, Isaac, for calling in. Have a fantastic.
Thank God I went through school. I never belonged to any cult group.
Okay.
So I see no reason why somebody would be convinced to join a cult group for him to make it. What are you going to make? You're going to destroy your life. That's what I see. But tell me the success story of any cult man. No. So that is it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a fantastic Sunday.
And you to my barrister sister.
Okay. Yeah, barrister sister. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, yes, we're still asking what is in your hands. 45 minutes gone past 11, not 2. And we have another call. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I was the one that earlier called.
Okay. So what's in your hands?
Yes. Okay. What I do is I'm a swimming instructor. Hello?
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
I'm a swimming instructor. And I also am into swimming pool. I maintain swimming pool very well. But each time I close my eyes, I see, in fact, I don't need to. I know very well that a lot of people in this country don't know how to swim, and they disregard swimming a lot. They are so scared. I have this strong passion to talk about swimming to students at school, but I have just been slowly killing it inside me.
Why?
Sometimes on my own, without gathering an audience, I will just be talking to myself as if I'm in a school or something, talking to people about swimming, the importance of swimming. But I never see myself going out there or someone courage to go and do that.
Why? I'm
But
asking you now.
if
Why?
anybody comes to me and said I want to learn how to swim, how many days will it take me? I just tell it a couple of just 3 weeks. And a period of 3 weeks.
Oh, I lost him. Oh, no, 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 no. And I really wanted him to answer the question why. I mean, what stops you from going to a school if you feel that that is something you want to do? You go to schools, talk to the principals or the teachers or whomever, and they can have. I think we used to have something called social something Wednesday. It used to be on Wednesdays. Social activity. Can't remember. I forget it. And people used to come and talk to us about this, that, and the other. For the most part, in most schools these days, you don't even have guidance counselors. So you can actually walk into a school and tell them this is what you'd like to offer. If you want to be paid well, I don't know how that's going to fly. But if it's a passion of yours to get people interested in swimming, do you need to find courage to just walk up to somebody, explain yourself, and be given a chance? You don't? Well, okay. Anyway, numbers to call 080-928-95620. What's in your hands? You can send me a text on 090-8668-1703. That's for text messages only. 090-8668-1703. Now I was going to tell you something about Les Brown before that call came in. He has this thing where I think I'm going to play it for you. You have to be hungry. I like the way he says that. He got a job in a radio house, a broadcasting house. He had the passion to talk to people. He loved talking to people. But when he started building his business, he found things quite difficult. He lost his job, so many things. He had to start sleeping in his office. Now, he had slept there for a very long time. One day, the security people handed him a letter. Mr. Brown, this letter is for you. We would like you to read it in front of us. And he opened it, and the letter practically said, this office complex is not a hotel. Please stop living here. And he was so embarrassed. And he told them, look, I work long hours, and that's why I, have to stay there. But I'm building my brand. I'm building my business. I'm an entrepreneur, And then he goes on to say they were laughing at him. He would sit in his office / bedroom, look out the views, listening to tapes of different people, and would daydream about what he had in his hands. Today, Les Brown has written several books, has several talk shows. I mean, my goodness. Maybe I will end the show with how he actually even started working on radio. What do you have in your hands? What's your gift? What are you not using? What are you looking down on thinking they won't understand? Fine. They're not supposed to understand. It's your journey. It's your road. It's your race. The rest of the world will have to adapt to you. They will have to keep up with you. But you have to show up. I asked you. A tree falls in the forest. Nobody's around to hear it. Did it make a sound? You should not be afraid to showcase what you have. To showcase who you are. What you are. You should not be afraid to live. What do you have in your hands? Use it. Do not allow fear hold you back from manifesting that thing. What will people say? Who cares what people will say? You should care about you. You should care about where you are taking you to. You should care about the road you are walking. You should care about what you're going to leave behind. You should care about you. I just said it, you. And damn what any other person thinks. So long as whatever it is you're doing will not directly or indirectly negatively impact the life of another person in a way that will be very bad. But if it's something that will bring about a great change in you, positivity, your manifestation, your birthing, your becoming, your living your most authentic self and being, who cares what the rest of the world thinks? The rest of the world is doing what the rest of the world wants to do. Think about it. Is anybody taking your permission before they get married? Is anybody calling you to tell them to do or not to do before they do that thing they want to do? No. Many people are doing whatever they want to do because it pleases them. Then how much more you? Why are you waiting for people to give you permission? What is in your hands? You use it. You exploit it. You grow it. You build it. You become. And I'm hoping you will. I'm hoping that, that fire that's lit inside of you, you will not allow it to die. You will not allow it to just fizzle out and, fall away. Because people were laughing. Or because you were too afraid. Imagine yourself 90 years old, lying down in your deathbed, thinking about the things you should have done and you never did because you were afraid. Would it even matter at that point in time? Hello.
Good morning to you, my lady.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, my lady.
So what is in your hands?
I have a lot of things in my hand.
Okay. Do you have a shark in your hands?
Well, for me, a good topic this morning once again. Just to say, for want of time anyway, just to add that, just like you were saying, I think most of these schools, if not all schools, should have, what I call it, career counselors or guardian counselors, in your schools. So that at the end of the day, it's not just all about the academics, but also you look at some of these kids, some of them are really gifted. They can do a lot of things with their hands, and the result of what they manage from their brain. You understand my point? So,
yeah.
But coming down here, I think it's a good thing. We have to look the other way. For me, I don't want to go into my story because, like I said earlier, for want of time. But what I do today to eke out a living is not what I intended doing from the outset. But, like I tell people, when you come to a crossroads, you have to take a selfish decision. And what is that selfish decision? You look for what you can do. You can create something out of nothing. Funny enough, do you know, my lady, that sometimes you make more money from things people don't even recognize as being viable.
I agree with you.
So, you can look around. Yes, you need finance, like myself. I know how many times I've written proposals to take my hustling to the next level. But up to this moment, no one has borne fruit. I know how many times I've dreamt of where I want my hustling to be. But up to now, I'm still, I won't say I'm crawling, I'm moving. But I believe that definitely I will leave my mark the sand of time with what I do today. Because it's not all about the blue or the white or sometimes even the red collar jobs. Sometimes with what you can do with your hand, you can push yourself to the next level. There's no two ways about it. You have to look around, just like you told us about the story of the lady that is now cooking for every Tamil and Okubo. Of course. Like myself, I've worked in the hospitality business before. So I can do one or two things also when it comes to issues like that. I can do some other things. I can do a bit of plumbing as a result of, looking at persons or working with some of these persons some time ago. It's all about somehow empowering yourself so at the end of the day, you can make out a living to take care of your family especially yourself. So at the end of the day, somebody doesn't look at you as being another Oliver Twist, either of the family or as a friend. No. So you look around. I believe every Tamland of boy is gifted. I don't believe that any human being is, let me not use that word anyway, bad. Look around. You can do things. There are some persons who take out a living just frying granite and selling. There are some persons who go to even buy the raw ones to come and sell for those who will fry. Bottom line, don't look down on anything you can do with your hands, because, like they say in churches, I am a living testimony of what you use your hands to create for yourself can do for you. In fact, I believe, like a good friend of mine told me some time ago that I have a gifted hand. So I believe every time now, but so many of us do have gifted hands. It's all about looking at what is in your hand. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe from the outset, some persons might maybe laugh or jeer at you, but be determined that indeed you want to take this thing to where it ought to be. At the same time, not just making financial benefits out of it, but also making some persons realize that this thing is a very good source of income. I can tell you that what I do today for my hustling, I don't want to say it on air. When I started, not many persons does it, but today, go around, you can see some other persons doing it because they now realize that indeed, if one person or two can be in this line of hustling all this while, it then means there is something inside. Because for me, like they say, what you have in your hand, my lady, you don't need a mirror to assess it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Real Gift, for calling. And yes, we've come to the end of the show. I really must jump off now. But remember, if you'd like to talk to me about anything, you can reach me on 08098051480. And here's Corinne Hawthorne, and she's telling you